All right, let's do it.
Comments later.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yep. Okay. First, did everybody have a chance to read the minutes?
No, but I'm reading them now.
All right. How are you?
Easy.
I'm sure. Everybody,
Yep.
everybody good?
Yeah,
Christina, you're still perusing them?
yeah, no, I read them last night. I'm just trying to pull it up on my computer and I can't, I have too many files here. I have too many computers, actually. That's my problem. I had one tiny, here they are. Okay. One tiny change. But maybe it's not that important. So just, yeah,
Oh.
no, it's fine.
That's what it is.
Oh, it was just, instead of in the middle of the paragraph on the report on the solar house tour,
Yeah.
I would just change many to several because it wasn't many, it was several. But that's why I say very small. Member Herman has followed up with several attendees that said they contacted Green Logic for quotes.
Member Herman. and-
Yeah. Fourth line down in.
Yeah, I don't want to
follow
be
with many.
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5,
Okay.
fifth line down. Yeah, I don't want to be too overly enthusiastic. So I want to be accurate.
I know. We like accuracy. Okay, several. Okay. Anything else from anybody? Rob, you're okay?
Looks good.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I so moved.
And a second. All in favor? Okay. Thank you. ETIP updates. Again, we have no idea when the final report will come in. But in the meantime, Kate Kablansky, again, I was emailing with her back and forth this week. Well, first, two things. One is, remember, on the 22nd and the 23rd is when they're having the Island Institute event up in Portland. Again, I told Kate I would ask the room. Yeah.
It was just canceled, except
Well-
and reinitiated. I only had a few minutes to glance at it. It looked like it's now one day, just Wednesday and Zoom.
I think so. But I was confused with that too, and I was going to ask Sky Butterson what changed. But in the meantime, it looks like there was still an agenda.
Yeah. So I signed up tentative, yeah.
I will clarify and let everybody know.
I have, I already emailed her that I can't be in person, so I'm gonna try to Zoom in when I can, but we have budget meetings all morning, so I might be able to make it for the hour.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless we have to schedule more budget meetings.
So my question to everybody, I know the answer is, I'm assuming nobody is going to go there in person. So, and I indicated that to Kate several weeks ago, but I said I would ask again.
What, did we get any feedback from Ben that there was value in going other than, I mean, I just, I still don't have a sort of idea of what the value is of going as
I
opposed to
think
just
it's
observing.
just, you go in person and you meet people and you're there, that's all.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like
I can meet people.
Zooming here versus being here in
Yeah,
person.
so there's no like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it
I
is.
think, excuse me, I think on the second day they were doing some kind of like field trip or something.
Yes,
but I
they
may
are.
be-
They are.
Okay.
They're doing
Yeah,
a
I mean,
field trip.
and they have several, what do they call them? Icebreaker activities. So
Yeah,
presumably there is some interpersonal, I mean, I
There is.
assume the icebreaker activities are not going to be something people on Zoom can really participate in.
no, and I think that's the point of being there in person.
Yeah,
It's like
Okay.
you actually physically meet people, you can go on the field trip, you have dinner together.
It's for networking.
Yeah,
It's a, you know,
okay.
it makes it would be more, better, but,
I mean, if I just let Kate know, if I hadn't, or I could let her know, if we were still on the island, I would have driven up. Because I think it would have been really interesting to meet people in person. You can develop relationships that you don't develop over Zoom. It's just very
Absolutely.
different.
I
So,
don't know, absolutely. If we
Yeah, the
never,
question is, are the people there people that we need relationships with? That's,
well, yeah, but you don't know until you go and talk to them. So that's my feeling. And especially like the folks on Block Island, I think it would be interesting to. Anyway, it's moot
yeah,
because.
no, it would be fun to talk to them about their pharmacy situation.
about the which situation? Situation.
Pharmacy?
Oh, yeah, right. They don't have a pharmacy.
No, they
bring it
don't.
in.
It gets
No.
flown in and ferried in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, I just mean,
Okay.
how's that working out for you?
If their wind, I would like to know more about their wind project and how that's
Yes.
working, because I've heard very different things about it and the rates and everything, so.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
We could all just go there, maybe, yeah, I guess if we had relationships with them, then we could, yeah, that would.
Yeah,
well, we can have a field trip to Block Island one day.
yeah, that
Okay.
would be, cool. Let's do that
Yeah.
next summer, yeah.
Okay, we'll go in February.
I know.
Boat, really rough day.
We can get there by bike. I've done it.
Okay, well,
Yeah, take your bike on the ferry.
Take your, ride your bike to Orient,
okay, take the
cross
ferry
Sound, Block Island Ferry.
and then get them. It's true.
It's fun.
It's true. Okay. And the other thing is Kate, again, is offering to meet with us separately before which I think we should, again, we've discussed it before, but just take her up on that. And she said either she could join in one of our next green meeting, if we want to do that, or if we would like to meet separately beforehand and talk about any projects that we have, which we'll get to shortly, or not projects that we have, potential projects.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I would be more interested in this Rockland thing if I had a better sense of what we're going to do going forward and what the people who are attending this are going to be doing. I mean, it would be nice to have conversations with people who are contemplating the same kinds of projects. And it's really unfortunate that we don't have, sort of finality on this. Well, I don't know, maybe we have enough information
I
now.
think Kate's implication is that we don't have to wait for the report. We can actually, we can meet with her, we can discuss all different sort of ways to go forward. And I think we should take her up on that.
And we're free to use the PowerPoint. So we could
Yes.
meet with the council, for instance, and use the PowerPoint. We don't have to have the final report in hand
No.
to start making presentations to the
Exactly.
community and to the council.
Exactly, and then I'll get to that in a second, but, so anyway, I think, I'll send think about if you want to have Kate come to the next meeting, which is in November, or should we have just a special meeting, which I guess would have to be a public meeting, right?
The next meeting, our next meeting.
It could be our next meeting, which is in November, or if we want to do it sooner, we could just set up a meeting before then, which I think if we're all together would have to be a public meeting.
Well, wait a minute, the ETIP meetings have not been public meetings. Why would this be different?
Oh,
Yeah.
true. So would it not have to be a public meeting?
Why wouldn't it be a public meeting? I mean, what's the
I
problem?
mean,
with
it would,
being a
it's
public
fine
meeting?
if it is, it's just,
It's
we
just-
have to be in this room, I guess, and.
It would
on
have to
this
be in
Zoom.
this room, and we
Oh.
have to involve Coco. So,
Oh, I see. It's resources.
Yeah, it's just more complicated.
Okay,
so
got it.
could we just do it as an adjunct ETIP meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do it all on
It's-
Zoom
it's-
and-
Yeah, it is part of the ETIP
Okay.
program. It would be.
Okay, that's all
So we
set.
could do it on Zoom and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
we can always record the Zoom too if we want to
Kate-
make it.
Kate can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, she would do that.
yeah, because Kate usually sets them up, so
Uh,
through her.
Okay, so the next question is, again, do you want to try to do this before the next November, before the November meeting?
yes.
I think we should, yeah.
Okay, I
I think
agree.
it should be separate,
Okay. Yeah, because there's other stuff at the meeting and
right.
this should just be a focus.
Yes,
A
I agree.
focus. Okay, before November meeting. Okay, I will talk to Kate or email with Kate and we'll figure out.
The next November meeting is Thursday, November 20th.
Yeah, it's a ways off.
Yeah, because there's holidays. Yeah, the 20th.
Yeah, so we'll try to do it. I mean, I don't know how involved she is in with setting up this whole Island Institute thing.
Oh, yeah.
But if she's not, anyway, I
But
will,
that's happening next week, right?
yes, so it'll be out of the way. So you're just right after that.
First week in, or the last week of October.
Yep, so either last week of October. And Meg, would you like to be involved with that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, good, I thought so.
And I have a lot of openings the last week of October. Things have come down.
Okay, so it's a good time. Okay, what I'll do is I'll talk to Kate and then we'll set up a bunch of dates and see what's agreeable for everybody. Okay. Oh, and then yes, getting back to Christina's question or thought about, we don't have to wait for the final report to do a presentation. So in terms of the town of doing something, I assume we want to wait till after the election.
We'll just have to look at the agenda and see what we have time for. I mean, the election is in 2 weeks, so.
Well, I guess my only thought was just that, well, do we want to do it this year? Before the end of the year?
Yeah, I think it would be good to do the presentation on what we've been working on all year and give people an update on what's happening. And then, I'm hoping that we can move forward with the facility master plan and incorporate some of the ideas and concepts that you guys have been working on into that planning.
Okay,
So I think it would be a good idea to kind of present what we've been working on and then once the report comes out, have them come and do another presentation
okay,
whenever that timing happens to be. But I think that you spent so much time on this for the last almost 2 years now,
well,
that
yeah,
it would be good to give everybody an update.
okay. Should we try to do that in November or
Yeah.
December?
Amber and I will go over the agendas and see what day has the most time for you
Okay,
guys. And then, how long do you think it'll be, like half an hour?
well, we could,
Really hard to say.
it's hard
Yeah.
to say. And we will need leave time so that we can sort of figure out,
Yeah, we have to prepare some sort of outline so we know what
Oh, yeah.
we're saying.
Yeah, so why don't you guys work on the outline and let us know when you think you'll be ready with it? Kind of brainstorm it
Okay.
and figure out how much time it's gonna take you guys to get ready, because I don't wanna put you on before you're ready,
Right.
no,
so, yeah. I don't wanna set a date for next week or the week after when you're not close to ready to do it.
no, I think we need,
But-
yeah, go ahead, Christina.
I think it would be helpful to have a deadline. But, and of course, yes, point well taken, not next week or the week after, but, so we do need time to prepare, but I think if you could let us know maybe 3 weeks out or 3 or 4 weeks out, when you have, if either of those meetings looks like there would be time on the agenda, and we could just set a date, because I think that would be helpful. Just knowing how we work, I think it would be helpful to have something to work, a date to work towards.
Yeah, I also think it would be good to have, for us to have in mind as we talk about what we're going to present. Just keep in mind that I think a half an hour is a good goal. Like I don't think that we should plan a presentation that we think is going to take an hour
Oh, no,
or even 45 minutes.
no. 30 minutes is the limit.
That would be a
Is-
max, yeah.
So would that include time for questions or
I think it would have to.
the 30
Um,
I
minutes?
don't see how you keep people's, attention. If we take that
Yeah.
long, we are getting into the weeds.
Right. We can do like 15 minutes probably, 10 to shoot for 10, go, it'll probably be 15 and then there's, or maybe 10-minute presentation and then there's plenty of time for discussion.
Yeah, and discussion is where you can get into the weeds if people
Exactly,
want to hear it.
exactly.
How about November 25th? Because the first few weeks of November are holidays and we don't have as many work sessions. We have one work session.
That's a holiday week.
It is the holiday week. Thanksgiving is later that week.
27th, right?
Or there's December 2nd.
Why don't we do September 2nd?
December.
December
December
2nd, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And that gives us a bunch of time. And I mean, Christine, when I do presentation, I try to keep them to 15 minutes. And
Okay.
and then add, and then add
I can't
questions
be
after
here
that.
on, I can't
Okay.
participate on the second.
Huh?
I can't participate on the second.
You can't?
I can't.
Can you on November 25th? Is
Okay,
there a problem with
but-
that?
How about November 25th?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just-
Well, let's,
Or December 9th.
Well, the later we push it, the
Yeah,
less
I-
likely it is that we're going to be able to do anything and take
mean-
advantage of the tax credits. That's what I've got in mind.
well, that's going to be a separate discussion on the agenda today.
Tuesday,
Right.
November 25th is fine.
Okay.
What was this about the tax credits, Christine? You
We'll-
think?
we'll
Well,
get-
we'll
if
talk
it's-
about it in a minute.
We'll get to
Okay.
that in a second. Let's go to, let's,
I'm fine with November 25th.
when is Thanksgiving again?
27th.
Thursday.
27th.
It's 27th, this is Tuesday, and
Okay.
so it's 2 days after that.
Actually, I may have a doctor's appointment that day. I have to check,
Okay.
and I'm not missing that appointment.
No.
Okay, so it's either 11:25.
11:25,
So
12:02, or 12:09, or I guess 12:09 if chair.
9 or 11:25, okay,
So you guys can let me know.
okay. We'll figure this out soon, let you know.
And if I have to cancel my sleep study, I will.
What is it?
My sleep study, I have to go to New York and spend the night in a,
Oh,
Oh,
have my sympathies.
yes. So I wouldn't actually mind canceling it.
that's on the second? That's on the second?
It's it's the night before into that morning.
Can you move it to the 9th?
I don't know.
I mean, I'd rather do either 11:25 or the second. Otherwise, it just starts getting,
Yeah.
okay. So, all right, we will think about that. So actually, I'm just going to jump ahead. We'll come back to shopping bags because solar at the recycling center relates to this. Christina, do you want to just talk about what we've been?
Sure. So, and it's Tom Connolly, right? No, sorry, I've
What's
got it.
No, The
Well,
the Green
Last-
Logic,
No, his last name. I just want to make sure I have his last
Tom
name.
Connolly.
yeah.
Tom Connolly, yeah. I can't trust my memory. So we met before maybe about a month ago now because I was interested in exploring solar for our house and seeing what the possibilities are because we have this tree shade. And we started, but I asked him a few questions with Tim's permission about what he would need in order to give us some estimate for solar on the recycling shed and the engineering building at the dump or at the town,
Recycling center.
the recycling center. So he did, and he said, oh yes, be interested to put in a quote, asked if we would require prevailing wages and a competitive bid. And the answer we collected since then is yes to both. And then he needed the town's electrical, usage. So those numbers from the electric bills for the various town meters over the last year. And I think, and then, so Tim and I went to Christina and, oh, no, sorry, to Amber
Amber.
Wilson, and got those numbers. I think they run from like February to February. But in any case, she gave us a printout of the numbers. They have old software for these purposes, and so couldn't convert it into a spreadsheet. But anyway, we did that. So it's in a spreadsheet now, and I think we're attaching the various meters to it. But we have figures for overall town electricity usage for at least the period of a year, which would give him enough information to know what size to recommend. And he needs a little bit more information. He needs fronts and back of bills for some reason. So we're sorting that out. We would also want to talk to other installers, of course, to get other bids. But we thought, well, if we get some figures from him, it would give us an idea of what we're talking about in terms of cost. And that would help us with any potential, grant applications. The urgency is because in order to avail, there's a 30% tax credit for systems that are being put up by municipalities or governments, as well as companies, and that lasts through the end of 2027. But you have to have your system started by the end of June 2026. So we've only got about 6 months to get something together. I don't know if we can do it, but that's the timeline. And so that's why I'm a little bit eager to, more than a little bit, I'm eager to get these meetings underway so we can at least make a good try of it, because we need, of course, permission from the council to move forward with anything serious on this. So that's kind of where we are. Tim, did I leave anything out?
No, but I just want to clarify, I can't remember, the system has to be up and running by a certain
No.
point, or you have to
No. You just have to start.
like shovel
I
ready
don't
or
know that
something.
you have to start construction, but there has to be a serious project
Under
underway.
contract or
Yeah,
installation?
right,
Substantial.
something along
I
those
think
lines.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's great. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was hugely helpful,
know
and we should
the
take
other-
advantage of it if
The
we can.
other suppliers are that we might get bids from?
Yeah, what are the other companies? I have them not at the tip of my tongue right now, but there's at least one other solar installer who's been working on the island.
anyway, so,
Yeah, and we can also talk to Ken Lewis, because I know at one point he was reaching out to different companies to see if he could get bids after they put the roof on. That was the next step for that project, so
uh-huh.
we can reach out to Ken and ask him.
Oh, good, so he may have some-
So
He might have some
maybe,
information.
can we have a meeting with Ken, have sort of a,
Yeah,
Or was-
Ken and Joe Fenora, I would recommend.
can we set up a meeting?
Yeah,
And then we can all talk about this together?
Yep.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We might actually accomplish something here.
nice.
It would be nice, because we've been talking about this for a while. So, and then just see if we, what we can do or not do.
Yeah.
Okay. Want me to talk to Ken and Joe, or how do you want to proceed, Meg?
I'll put together an email with everybody together.
You want to email or you want me to email?
Why don't you do it, so that, because I forget, I'll get distracted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe, and then us. Okay. Okay, I will do. And because Christina's in DC, we'd have to do a hybrid, or we could do it on Zoom or something, figure that out. Okay. Does that sound good, Christina?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. And Rob, if you, obviously, if you would like to be part of this also,
Yes, I would. And when we get to other business, I'll give you an update on the discussion with the school about the solar shed. But yeah, it would be very helpful.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll try to figure out for everybody. Okay. Okay. Going back to, well, I might as well stick with solar and then we'll go back to the bags. Residential solar, I think the question we had sort of after the solar house tour, which was really great, was just how can we sort of keep the momentum going? Do we want to do, I mean, could it be part of the presentation that we do for the ETIP presentation?
Except I thought we were going to have some sort of separate organization involving the potential interested homeowners.
Yeah. What's that?
Right. So I actually heard back from someone at Solar United Neighbors. They don't have staff in New York yet, but he was very excited to hear. So there's a fellow named Roger who is in charge of Roger Horowitz, who's in charge of Go Solar programs. They now Solar United Neighbors is this organization of solar advocates working on to promote rooftop solar that's gone national, but they're not in every state. I mean, it just started here in Washington, D.C., and it's expanding. So he's going to find out. The gist of his message was very happy to support us, certainly in the short term. And he offered I have to get in touch with him, but we could set up a Zoom call with interested, maybe with us first, and then maybe, or we could just go to including some of the people who are interested in doing this. I'm not quite sure how to proceed with that, but I think I'll talk to him first and figure it out what makes sense. But so they could give a short-term help, and then he would find out from Anya Schoolman, who heads up Sun, what sort of funding they might have in the future for New York staff, because they staff these initiatives. So that's good. That's good news. It's a great network. There are lots of people involved who have just a ton of experience with different situations. You put out a question on the listserv and a bunch of people who know some part of the answer will jump in. And I found them to be extremely knowledgeable and helpful.
The Zoom that I think a couple of us attended was in Indiana largely.
Yeah.
And I found it very interesting, but it was clearly farm oriented. It was
That one
for
was.
it was for rural communities,
Right.
but I found the folks there very helpful to the farmers in that case.
Mhm. I thought so too. I thought, oh, well, doesn't quite fit our needs because they were defining rural as you say, largely farms. But that's the kind of it's a pretty sophisticated level of expertise that they offer. So really encouraging.
Well, are you saying that staff is needed before we can set up anything here?
No, I was trying, well, that's one of the things I want to talk about. He said, one of my goals for this year would be to develop materials to make it easier to have volunteers organize solar co-ops in their area. We don't currently have any program staff in New York, but would love to support you remotely in the short term. I'll bring this up to our executive team meeting and would be interested in finding out the funding commitment to hire New York staff. So, I mean, obviously, they're not going to look for money from us to hire a New York staff because we're just going to be a small group. But, if they are thinking about the larger organization, may be thinking about expanding operations in New York State, or maybe not, because there's a lot of New York has a pretty pro-solar set of policies, and there may be other organizations that are doing this. But anyway, I have a lot of questions that I would need to ask him about that. But, I mean, the first step, I think, would be, could we there's definitely interest in forming a group of people to support one another as they move forward with whatever stage of solar they're in. Some, as you know, have been in for a very long time and now are having problems. Well, do I have to replace my whole system because there are no inverters that will work with these panels? Or is there some way I can jerry-rig the system? Anyway, they're everything from that kind of question to, uh, you know, where do I begin kind of thing, which is what we were trying to address when we had the solar tour, to answer those basic questions that people would have about what questions do I need to be asking myself before I consider rooftop solar.
Okay.
You can include it in the presentation, but also if you have resources that we can add to the website for the green options page, we can do that.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, well, they also, Sun develops resources, so and I can poke around beyond them, but I think that's really pretty much the major organization in the country, at least that's, known on a national level, that's producing resources for people. But there are a lot of groups out there, so.
Okay. So we, for the time being, just include something in the presentation?
Well, let me get back in touch with him, find out how to proceed, and um, and that can maybe go along, you mean on the presentation for the council?
Yeah, just we put in.
Yeah, we'll have information well before then.
Yeah,
about
okay.
how we could move forward, yeah.
So Christine, what was the experience with your own house? Was that a helpful, was consulting with him, with Connolly helpful?
Oh, yes, actually, he said there now, and this is an important update. So I think I had mentioned, and Coco put this in the minutes, that he said he thought his company would be trying to find a way to hold down costs. I think what they've decided to do now is to offer a lease arrangement for anyone considering solar now. So they figure out what size, they look at your electricity usage, your bills over the last year, and then figure out what your general need is to size the system appropriately. And then they give you a quote of a monthly rate, and you wind up paying pretty much what your average bill would be, but you're producing your electricity through the panels. And what it does is hedge against a rise in electricity rates, which are expected to go up by 8% a year, which is significant. So and he said their lease arrangement, it does not have a ratchet clause to increase the costs of the monthly payments each year. He said it's going to stay fixed. The only problem in our case is we have to replace the roof before we put up panels, and we're not ready to. It doesn't really need to be replaced right now, but it's not going to last long enough for a 20-year system.
Yeah, I was thinking about a sort of a series of newspaper columns in the newspaper, the sort of a Shelter Island citizen's journey to solar, just sort of a way of sort of moving through the process with people, and sort of getting to some of the points, like you just mentioned. Do I lease? Do I buy? Do I rush to try to get incentives? Do I wait to see if prices come, and I think if I could find a way to write those, but using actual experience and maybe even someone's name, I wonder if that would be a way of following up on the solar tour in a more, I don't know, experiential way or something. I don't know.
That's a terrific idea.
But I just, we've been, I don't know if you know this, we've been looking at houses, Christine. And one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people have solar panels. And there are a variety, I didn't even know about leasing. We looked at a house that had leased panels. I was like, what? I didn't even know such a thing existed. And others that had, panels, and then, we asked to see the bills, because, and there's just a huge variety on this island of solar installations. It's not all one thing. And I just thought that was really interesting, and I wonder if that's part of what makes it complicated for people, that there are so many,
Right.
and maybe walking through it with people in a realistic way would make it less intimidating.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I really, I wonder, well, anyway, we can talk offline about finding somebody who's done it on the island who, or, well, you need somebody who's
It doesn't
doing it
have to be
now, I
someone
guess.
who's done it. It can be, I mean, in other words, I think it's okay if some of the stories end in somebody not going ahead, deciding to wait. I
Right,
think that's
right,
okay. In other words, I don't think we should present this as something that's for everybody.
right. No, good
That's
point.
unrealistic.
Yeah, it's useful. Well, just for the,
But it might be
just,
for people who aren't doing it. They're the
right.
people who haven't thought about it.
Well, just, I mean, we have panels on our house here in Washington, and we've had them up since 2012. That is, and we decided to go with a lease arrangement, in part because there was Solar City was doing it, and it was an excellent company. It just, the business model didn't work out given the back and forth of, US policy on solar. And they eventually were bought by Tesla. So our panels are actually owned and maintained by Tesla, but they guarantee a certain amount of production. And the inverter failed because the fuse, which was hardwired into the system, needed to be replaced. I mean, I don't know who would design an inverter where you couldn't replace the fuse, but so they replaced the entire inverter 2 years ago. So there are some real advantages to a lease arrangement. But of course, the disadvantage is if your company goes out of business and then they just stop supporting you. So it's not an easy um, sort of field to navigate. And with all the uncertainty now, it is tricky. So, anyway, you want to, yeah, there are lots
All
of
right,
things
so
that can
maybe
be included in an
this is for
article like that.
discussion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll follow up with you.
Okay. While we're on the subject of solar, Rob, do you want to talk about solar in the school?
Yes, thank you, Tim. Yeah, so I just spoke with Chris Conradi actually this morning. So this is fresh news. Excuse me. They do have a customer, and it's a teacher at the school, James Steinert, who is a math teacher. So I think that's a good thing too, because maybe we can work in some math into the whole project as well. And he explained a few things to me, and basically the customer, in this case, the teacher, pays all the material costs. And that would include, in this case, the solar work. James Steiner, is interested in having the shed outfitted with this solar system. So they're going to be starting construction on the shed itself pretty soon. And he indicated that solar work would really begin in the springtime. But there were a number of questions he gave me that I need to discuss with all of you and get your feedback, because I just don't know the answers. So first one is, can the Green Options Committee help defray the costs for the solar equipment? So panels, inverter, battery, et cetera. Is that a possibility at all?
No, we can't do that.
Okay. fair enough. And, you know, and he wasn't like saying, look, it has to be that way. He just was asking.
Mm.
So, all right. So the next question, does the Green Options Committee know of any sources? And so maybe some of these vendors, like, you know, the company we were just talking about, Green Logic, and maybe there's other ones. And I was thinking maybe one of these companies might be willing to sponsor the high school project and maybe be able to donate some spare parts they might have laying around from other projects.
Rob, just a clarification, this is totally off-grid, true? This is just a standalone system,
Exactly.
a battery powering
sir.
only the shed, or maybe powering some items in his house totally off-grid or something like that.
Right now, Don, you're exactly on target. We're talking about just the shed, and yes, standalone, off the grid. Yes.
Yeah, probably Green Logic would not have anything to say. This sounds like it's a do-it-yourself project, totally.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we're fishing around, just looking for, you know, if they have a spare panel or two that's laying around from like another project that they didn't, I know, but you know,
Anything, you
you
can
have to
buy
kinda
panels now at Costco, you can buy them online, Amazon, etc. So it sounds like some sort of design, as I said, do-it-yourself design is appropriate. And I have no idea right now as to the total cost. Yeah.
You know, I can check in with our daughter and her partner they're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so not close, but they already have panels sitting in their shed or in their garage, and they're building themselves a ground mount system in the back of this house they just bought and are redoing themselves. So, you know, that's a real do-it-yourself thing. They're going to be hooked into the grid, but they're working with an electrician on that. But let me find out where she got her panels. You know, Don's point is well taken. I think there are quite a few people doing this. So we can get some information about, you know, sourcing. And so I mean, it's worth asking Tom, but I think, yeah, I suspect they probably have well, I don't know. Maybe they have a tight inventory, maybe not. So,
you know, yeah,
yeah.
you never know. I mean,
Yeah,
they
and-
order for a project and the project gets canceled or whatever. Yeah, you know, we all have basements that are full of stuff that we fully intended to use and for some reason don't get used. So, yeah, so
Yeah.
if you can send me his name and contact info, I'm very happy to give him a call and see
Okay.
what.
Sure, he lives over, he lives over in Silver Beach, by the way. He's on the
Oh,
island. Yeah.
Okay, so he's a neighbor of mine.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, great. There you go. You could
All
meet
right.
him.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, if I could just get a number, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So the other question was, would this committee have any recommendations on, you know, what it would want to see with this project, like a specific configuration or anything like that? Or do we just do it yourself project? I mean, what we've talked about so far is just, you know, an inverter, 120 volts, it's a shed. What do you do in a shed? You know,
Well,
nowadays you charge power tools and things, so, and some lighting.
Got to be very careful if you're talking about the line voltage, 120 volts for powering anything. So just, you know,
We're careful in
code-
what way? Careful in just having to.
safety
Of
problems.
course, but you know, it would all be done to code, so.
Huh. I,
Does, does this fall under the building department oversight?
Yeah, the electrical would require an underwriters.
Yeah, it would, right?
I thought you envisioned just a totally low voltage battery system, maybe a very small inverter, totally off grid, not powering any outlets or anything like that, which is far simpler.
Sure.
And it would be a learning experience, of course, for the students, looking at the power generated, doing some calculations to see, you know, time of day, time of year, etc. But as I said, it's going to get complicated if you look at line voltage to outlets in the shed.
Okay, I'll discuss that with Mr. Conradi and see what he feels, what the customer feels. So, but yeah, that's our discussion so far. That's what we've been kicking around, is a 120 volt system.
Okay. Okay, maybe it's possible.
I guess, you know, I can give the building department a call as well and see, you know, any applicable code for a shed and, you know, and a standalone type system like this. So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, and then do you want to be available to answer?
Yeah, call anytime.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to, any meetings, whatever, whatever information I can provide.
Thank you, Don. That's really, that'd be really super helpful. Thanks for that. Okay, and the other thing that Chris requested was, you know, a couple times during the year, if somebody from the committee might be able to, like, you know, poke their head in on the project and, you know, maybe talk to the students about what they're doing, about sustainability in general, electric power, that type of stuff. So very informal, but just, you know, a couple times during the year, just come in and, you know, it sounds like everything's pretty flexible, but
I'd actually see it the other way with the students giving presentations here to us and to the town.
okay. That's a good point. Good point. I'll mention that to him.
Because if there's a way also that they can document what they're doing, because I know Chris also, I don't know if he still does it, but he was doing a whole video project with the students where they had a video studio, etc.
Yeah, they're doing a video on Taylor's Island now.
So that's great. So they should be documenting the project.
You mean video documenting?
Yeah, video
uh-huh.
documenting
That's a
the
good idea.
project.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And I hope it doesn't distract them from the Taylor's Island project. We're counting on them.
They can have two different teams.
Yes.
How many students are in this particular sort of group?
That's a good question. I don't even know, Tim.
No, the only reason I ask is that they can also come here
Yeah.
to one of our meetings, and if they want to, you know, show us visually on the flat screens what they're doing, like do a little presentation for us, it would be sort of part of the Green Committee meeting and sort of more public thing.
Right. Yeah. And now I think all these are great suggestions. So that's everything I had. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all this feedback you gave me, work up an email to him. And Don, I'll keep you posted on any future meetings. That I haven't had any meetings with him. It's just been phone calls. But you know, maybe we're getting to the point where a meeting between Mr. Conradi, Mr. Thiner, and maybe the two of us could be very useful. So good.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, and then I'm just trying to think, looking ahead at the Green Expo, it's something the school could do a presentation on next year.
Sure.
Yeah, the Green Expo and also, you know, the Solar House Tour. Why not have a
Exactly.
shed in the
Exactly.
middle, maybe if things work out.
Yeah, no. I think this is great.
Mhm.
So
Good work.
keep going.
Yeah.
I'll try not to let everybody down.
No,
So,
you're doing fine.
all right, thanks, folks.
Okay, let's see, we have 5 minutes left. Green Committee cloth shopping bags update, do we?
Yeah, okay. Last time we did this, this was the design, of course, and it's a 3-color design.
Mhm.
I mention that because that greatly affects the cost. We purchased 150 bags, $4.39 each. for $658.50 total.
Mhm.
Okay, that was, I don't have the date here, I should have when that was.
4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, 3 or 4 years ago. So anyway, I looked at the current prices, and no surprise, they've increased. It's gone up about 50%.
Oh, okay.
And if we do the same quantity, it will now be $6.59 each for the 3-color. Single color, of course, is much cheaper. 2-color is cheaper.
Gotta
So
be
That's
3.
3-color, black, green, and what?
brown.
Oh, there's brown in
Yeah, the
there.
osprey,
Here, you can,
Oh,
pesky ospreys.
those pesky ospreys. I think we should make a black and white osprey. Save some money.
Well,
We can screen that black down.
electronically, I have it all, I can change it
Yeah.
anyway.
So it looks-
It
looks-
loses
the
some
black
of the
looks
impact.
brownish.
It does. I think it does. You just charge more for the bags, but, and people, by the way, over the years have said, this is only $5, I'd pay $10 for this. How much would it be for the 2-color?
Geez, I think I brought, wait a minute, maybe I did, yes. Is that what I have here? Yes, I have it right here. 2-color, $484.
Then you could keep it at the $5.
And $659.
So $6.59 is for 3-color.
$659 versus $484.
Well, maybe what we should do is if you could do a treatment
Mhm.
that shows the difference between a 2-color.
3-color and 2-color?
Yeah, and we could see
Sure.
what it looks like.
Yeah, that's easy.
Did you get a 1-color price?
I didn't bring it with me because I didn't think it would be very,
I'm down for that, though.
I think a 1-color would be.
Okay, all right.
it
it would be-
would not look
No green
attractive.
ospreys.
it would be-
We did try this. Charity, we did try this several years
Oh,
ago.
you tried it with 1 color?
Yeah,
Is it black and white?
yeah, basically,
Oh,
yeah.
black and white.
Black and white would not be,
No, I was thinking.
because you lose the island. Go ahead, Christina.
Don, did these revised prices include the added lettering? Because we were gonna add like some way to contact the committee or something like that, weren't we?
But that's immaterial.
Okay,
It seems to be independent of whatever you choose to print. But
Got
you
it.
have a limited space, of course, in which to print.
Yeah.
And I forget the exact dimensions, it's
Yeah.
something like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches, something like that, 6 inches, 7 inches square. And you can put anything in there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then one other thing, does the actual design of the bag make a difference if it has like a flat bottom versus?
They have many different bags. Yes, it does make a difference. I just chose to look at the one we did previously, which was a compromise sort of between the quality and on the
Maybe you
price.
could just look into a bag that has, actually Linda next door suggested that
A flat bottom.
it'd be handy to have a flat bottom.
Okay,
So look into a flat bottom.
will do.
So if we did like a flat bottom 3-color or a flat bottom 2-color, what that would be.
Okay,
Have we sold out of the bags that we already have?
yeah.
Pardon?
We sold out of the bags that we had?
Yes, we have one left.
Would it, I'm sure it would be more expensive to have them be larger, but I'm thinking if it is gonna be a flat bottom, would it make sense to make them bigger so we could, or maybe people are not
Well-
using these for groceries.
Yeah.
They're not
There's-
super thick.
No,
Interestingly, buying the bags unprinted with anything is quite inexpensive. All the expense seems to be associated with the printing.
Hmm.
And I'm just wondering whether a local printer,
oh,
Berkwave or whoever, could do something to save us some money. I have to look into that.
so
Interesting
buy the
idea.
bags and then have someone print them. Okay,
I'll look into it.
okay, look into that. Okay. Okay, but And does everybody think this is a good idea?
Or we could just embroider them. We could have like a little sewing bee.
So we're gonna just wanna be unique.
I was,
That's
I
right.
was,
I'll sign you up for 100 bags, Jared.
I,
We have-
I was thinking too, you know, you could give out, or you could maybe sell, you know, blank bags, and the kids could, I don't know, maybe we could have a bag
Tie-dye
decorating project or something, you know,
Yeah.
they could draw on it.
Sharpies and let them go to town.
Do them
Yeah,
one color with crayons.
Well,
yeah, okay.
We might end up with some very interesting.
Yes, I think we
I'm not
will.
sure.
Based on when I go to the school and look at some of the art projects, which I think are wonderful.
Now.
No, I truly do. But I think for something like this, we want a uniform.
Oh, no, I mean, people could decorate their own bags.
I
You
mean,
just
af-
give them a list of supplies they could potentially use, and maybe,
Oh,
you
I
know,
thought you meant.
have a
but
party
we
at the.
could- We could have them just printed with like green options. I mean, then somehow it has to say green options.
Well, then you get into the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No, these are, yeah. I think that's a different project.
Yeah, okay.
We can do a green options coloring book.
Well, that would be fun. That'd be great.
There's a guy who did the coloring book over in Mattituck.
There's
Um,
one for Taylor's Island.
Oh, nice.
Okay. All right. But we still think pursuing something with the bags is a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
do you want to look at it the other way, cost limited, what should be our total cost, and then we'll look at the best option within that?
Well, one thing I just want to double check is this was supposed to be a rolling fund.
Yeah,
So,
the grant money that you had has rolled over. It's rolled.
So-
over.
And so that the $5 that people paid are in that now, so we have recouped our funds pretty much?
supposedly,
That we'll have to look into.
I will
I hope
just,
somebody knows that.
I will just,
Yes.
We actually do have a line for sale of bags, so we do know what the revenues have been. We just didn't tag it in our heads that that the cost of the bags came from the grant, and therefore the revenues should kind of roll over to you guys, so.
okay,
We can fix that.
okay,
Okay, good.
okay.
Yeah.
But it worked out the way we planned, that it was a rolling,
Yes,
Fund.
it is tracked.
and then we can
It will
use,
now be rolled.
and then we can use money towards getting new ones. Okay. All right.
So is that second part, so we will be able to apply whatever has been earned on the bag so far to the new ones?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that would be good to know what
that-
that number is,
that's-
so we
yeah.
don't
Well, it
go
should
over
be,
that,
it should be
right?
5 times 150,
Oh, okay.
How many years have you been doing? the
like
bag?
3 or 4 years.
Okay, yeah, because we didn't in prior years roll.
Okay, we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 750, right.
Okay, okay, last thing on the agenda is, and this is very quick. Tim Wheeler from Perfect Earth Project did come to visit some
Oh,
homes
good.
doing his plant therapy.
Yeah, how was that? Was that useful?
It was, I guess the thing he was not concerned about, but is like a one-time visit. Because this is this project is funded by the Peconic Estuary Partnership. It's a PEP grant that's funding that program. So he goes once and then he sort of tells them what he thinks, but then I guess the concern was some homeowners wanted follow-up, like, next year, can I also see you, or can we talk next year? So that was something that they have to think about.
How many homes did he visit, do you know?
I can't remember.
Is it like 10 or fewer?
No, it's fewer than that. And actually, there was a Heights resident up the hill who's having serious erosion problems, because she asked me to come look at her property, and I'm recommending somebody that she could work with. Anyway, so one thing we were talking a lot about, actually, a lot of the people had questions about invasive plants in their property. So the one thing that Tim and I talked about, he came over to my house because he wanted to see what I got. And so I was suggesting maybe for next year's forum, we do an invasive plant forum.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a great idea.
Oh, it does say that.
Yeah, I would love to be
I wonder where
involved in
that
that.
idea came from.
Yeah,
It's brilliant, it's so brilliant.
I know.
The agenda.
Anyway, so he was gonna talk to Edwina about it, and I haven't heard back. So that's sort of that.
okay, well, sounds like a good idea.
And one thing I am noticing, it's quite alarming as I drive around the island, because mile a minute
It's
fine
everywhere
is
now.
showing up everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just, it is amazing. I went on a tour of the West Neck Preserve with Andy Sinisek, who's the weed
the weed
specialist.
man, yeah,
The
we
weed-
talked about having him to the
Weed guy.
last one, weed guy, yeah.
And
Madman.
as we were going around, and he was doing a survey of any invasives that are there, we came across a huge area covered with it. And fortunately, we got it out before the berries ripened. But it's all next door in the 2 acres that are part of that preserve, just waiting to come back again. But it's everywhere. It's quite astonishing, so. And I know Mashamik is dealing with this at the visitor center, trying to get permission to clean it up around the boardwalk. So we can do something else there. Anyway, that's it. So,
Right.
Elise, it looks like Elise has left. So we don't have anybody online. Anybody have any new business questions or anything else they want to bring up?
I wanted to ask about the status of the home energy audits.
Um,
I can't remember where we left that, but I think it is a really pressing issue.
why don't we?
I mean, as far as I know, it's still not, I sort of lately been trying again to try to get somebody interested in doing a home energy, I'm getting nowhere.
I forget, Christina, in your discussions with Tom Connolly, did that come up?
Yeah, we did talk about it, but I can't remember. Nothing really useful, I think, came. And I don't remember. I was not taking notes, unfortunately, but it would be, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's problematic that everywhere, in all the literature that we distribute, in all the instructions that we give homeowners,
Yeah,
we always say, start with a home
I know.
energy audit. And, except it doesn't seem to be able to do that.
But this is something that PSE&G supposedly,
Well, yeah, they're supposed to, yeah.
So
Yeah,
can-
but they sent me, they sent me these documents about how for, if there's an income, for low income or middle income, you can, presumably you can fill out this form and maybe you'll get one. But that's not my understanding of what they're supposed to be providing.
um,
I had originally tried calling the vendors direct that they listed directly, that got me nowhere. So
They don't-
this was my
they don't-
second attempt.
they don't
and-
call back?
No, they talked to me and they said, we don't go to Shelter Island.
Oh,
yeah. There's a page on the NYSERDA website, residential energy assessment. It says, get a no-cost home energy assessment. Did you go through there?
Yeah, that's where I got the information about the low income and middle income and the sheaf of forms to fill out.
Yeah,
And no information about what that income cutoff was. I mean, maybe I do qualify.
did you talk to someone at NYSERDA?
No.
Maybe reach out to find a contact at NYSERDA.
The conversation that I had with Lynn
Mm-hmm,
was very helpful
mm-hmm,
because she said, the only way you're going to make this happen is by having somebody from town council or, in government talk to PSE&G and say, look, our understanding is that this is part of your agreement. Part of the reason that you are still managing electricity on Long Island is, according to this recent agreement with the state, is that you are agreeing to provide this to homeowners.
mm-hmm.
And homeowners on Shelter Island are not able to get this service, and you need to fix that.
mhm.
Okay.
I can reach out to people.
Do you want to do that, Meg? Okay.
Yeah, no, I have a couple contacts at PSCNG.
Yeah, no, I know.
So I'll-
You got the one guy.
And
who
by the
talked
way,
to
we
a lot.
raised this with them, you know, when we had them for at an ETIP meeting, we
Yeah.
raised this with them.
But I don't think that was the right person to talk to.
It may not have
So
been
you're gonna
because-
have to shake the tree and see
Yeah,
who I need to talk
And
to.
basically, the answer that we got back is, sure, we do that, just check our website.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Mm.
all right, because yeah, it'd be good when we do the presentation to be able to mention this.
Yep.
Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to discuss? Okay, I make a motion. Close the meeting. Everybody,
Second.
thank you, Rob and Christina for
Yeah,
joining
thanks,
us.
Rob. Thanks for making progress with that solar shed. That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
that's great.
It's a really
Christina, thank
fun-
you
it's
for considering
A fun, worthy
the
project.
solar,
And we
solar
always want to
communications.
work with the school, so, you know, this is great.